Subscribe my channel and press bell icon to get all notification.
Hello students, today we are going to discuss about the mechanism of breathing. In the previous video we discussed the human respiratory system, and now let's discuss the mechanism of breathing. So breathing, we know that breathing is the process in which we intake the air inside the body and we release this air outside in the outside environment. This is the breathing. This breathing process is complete into the two steps. ये जो breathing process होती है ये two steps में complete होती है. First is inhalation, and the another one is the exhalation. These are the two steps in which this breathing process is completed, inhalation or exhalation. We can call them inspiration and expiration. This is the another name we can use also. So this inhalation is the process in which the air is drawn inside the body from the atmosphere, and in exhalation the air, that alveolar air, is released out in the atmosphere. यानी कि air का अंदर लेना inspiration, air को बाहर निकालना is the expiration or exhalation. So these two processes is done on the basis of pressure gradient from the atmosphere और internal body में lungs के अंदर जो प्रेशर है उनमें क्या डिफरेंस है इसके बेसिस पे ही ये प्रोसेसेस होती हैं. लाइक the air always moves from its higher pressure to its lower pressure. When our lungs has a low pressure area, then the air from the higher pressure from the atmosphere will come inside the lungs, and the opposite will happen in the case of expiration, where from the low pressure area from the lungs it will release out into the atmosphere where the pressure is high. So now let's start with the inhalation. Inhalation is the process in which the air is drawn inside the body or inside the alveoli. So air को अंदर लेना इसे हम बोलते हैं inhalation. We can explain this process with the help of this diagram. In the inhalation, the diaphragm and the external intercostal muscles, they do very important role. इन्हीं की मदद से ही inhalation हो रहा है. So पहले हम देखते हैं कि what is happening during the inhalation. During the time of inhalation, the diaphragm show contraction. Diaphragm show contraction. So contraction in the diaphragm is happen, and the external intercostal muscles, let's write it here, intercostal muscles, they also show the contraction. इनमें भी क्या हो रहा है? They are also showing the contraction. So these two muscles, the diaphragm, it's showing contraction, and external intercostal muscle, they are also showing the contraction during the time of inhalation. Now let's see what happens due to the contraction of these muscles. Diaphragm, as we know that diaphragm is a dome shaped structure. इस तरीके की है, dome shaped structure है. जब ये dome shaped structure वाला diaphragm contract करता है, इसमें contraction होता है. Due to the contraction, it becomes flat. तो ये जो structure है, ये flat structure बन जाएगी. It will become the flat. तो जब ये flat बन रहा है, then it increasing the volume of the thoracic cavity at the anterior and posterior axis. It is increasing the volume of the thoracic cavity, its anterior and posterior axis. At the same time, when the external intercostal muscles are contracting, then they will pull the sternum and the ribs upward. They will pull the sternum and the ribs upward. External intercostal muscles are the muscles which are present in between the ribs. Ribs के बीच में present होता है. Like ये हमने ribs दिखाई हैं, इनके बीच में present रहती हैं. We have 12 pairs of the ribs and we have 11 pairs of the intercostal muscles. So these muscles are present in between these ribs, and when they contract, they pull the sternum and the ribs upward and outward. बाहर की तरफ, ऊपर की तरफ pull करते हैं. We can say that the volume of the thoracic cavity will increase at the dorsoventral axis. सो यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, डायफ्राम डोम शेप से फ्लैट बन रहा है एंड रिब्स और स्टर्नम आउटवर्ड और अपवर्ड मूवमेंट कर रही है. बिकॉज ऑफ दिस द वॉल्यूम ऑफ द थोरेसिक कैविटी विल इंक्रीज. तो जब ये दोनों काम हो गए हैं, डायफ्राम कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कर रहा है, एक्सटर्नल इंटरकोस्टल मसल्स कॉन्ट्रैक्शन कर रही हैं, then the volume of the thoracic cavity will increase. Volume of thoracic cavity will increase, and as the volume increase, the pressure inside the air, inside जो air का pressure है, it also gets decreased. So we can say that pressure will decrease. तो प्रेशर डिक्रीज हो जाएगा, जैसे ही वॉल्यूम इंक्रीज होगा तो एयर प्रेशर जो है वो डिक्रीज हो जाएगा. एंड ड्यू टू द डिक्रीज्ड एयर प्रेशर, द एयर विल मूव फ्रॉम एटमॉस्फेयर टू इनसाइड द लंग्स, बिकॉज एयर ऑलवेज मूव्स फ्रॉम इट्स हायर प्रेशर टू इट्स लोअर प्रेशर. एटमॉस्फेयर में प्रेशर एयर का हाई है, बट यहाँ पे जो प्रेशर है वो लो प्रेशर हो गया है. हियर वी कैन से दैट द प्रेशर इज -2 टू -6 तक जो होता है, -2 to -6 of the atmospheric pressure. At that much amount of the pressure gets decreased. इतना pressure यहाँ पे low हो जाता है during the inhalation process. So air will move from atmosphere to the lungs. Lungs के अंदर move करेगी. And finally we can say that the process of inhalation will take place. So inhalation की process हो जाएगी. Second process is the exhalation. Exhalation. Now let's see what happened during the exhalation. Exhalation में क्या हो रहा है? This is the process in which we can say that air is moved out from the alveoli. The air is moved out into the atmosphere. During exhalation, these muscles which are doing the contraction, now they become relaxed. They will show the relaxation. So we can say that during the exhalation, the diaphragm जो पहले contraction कर रहा था, आप क्या करेगा? The diaphragm it will become or show the relaxation. It will show the relaxation. And the external intercostal muscles, these intercostal muscles will also show the relaxation. So intercostal muscles they also show relaxation, or they will become the relaxed. Due to the relaxations of these muscles, now ribs and sternum will move downward or inward. Sternum और जो ribs हैं ये अंदर की तरफ move करेगी. Now we can draw the opposite arrow that they will move inside. They will move inward or downward. Similarly, when the diaphragm will do the relaxation, diaphragm relaxation करेगा, it will become dome shaped again. तो पहले dome shaped था, कॉन्ट्रैक्शन हुआ, फ्लैट हो गया. जब वापस रिलैक्स करेगा, देन इट विल बिकम अगेन द डोम शेप. फिर से जो डायफ्राम है वो डोम शेप बन जाएगा. एंड व्हेन द डायफ्राम विल बिकम डोम शेप्ड, ribs and sternum will move inward and downward, then the volume of the thoracic cavity gets decreased. तो इस केस में क्या होगा? Due to this, the volume get decreased. Volume जो है decrease हो जाएगा. And when the volume get decreased, the pressure of the air inside the thoracic cavity will increase. So यहाँ पे हम कह सकते हैं जब volume decrease हो रहा है तो उस केस में जो pressure है, the pressure will increase. Pressure increase हो जाएगा. And due to this increased pressure, air will move again from its high pressure to its low pressure, and it will automatically come out to the atmosphere. That will called as exhalation. इसी movement को, air की movement यहाँ lungs से atmosphere में जो हो रही है, इसी को हम कहते हैं exhalation. So finally, the exhalation will happen. Here we can say that in the inhalation, the muscles are doing the contraction. So it is an active process. It is considered as an active process. But during the exhalation, these muscles are becoming the relaxed. So this is a passive process. So here we discuss the mechanism of